So joining us today is Dan Plauchan. Dan is the Editorial Director for School Custom Solutions at McGraw-Hill Education. He brings a wealth of experience in custom publishing to McGraw-Hill, and he has extensive experience editing and publishing content for curriculum and creating program solutions for district, state, and national clients. His team also develops curricula according to pedagogical philosophies to align with customs curricula and state and national standards. So I'm very excited to have the opportunity to introduce Dan. I think you will enjoy today's presentation, and with that, I'll go ahead and turn it over to him.
Thanks, Michelle. Welcome, everybody, to our presentation, which is Making It Yours, Creating Solutions Through Custom. What I'd like to do today is talk to you a little bit about the nature of the custom curricula publishing market, which is part of the educational market, primarily focusing in on the school education market, give you a little bit of an understanding about the different options that customers have in customization, and show you some of the great tools that McGraw-Hill offers, as well as talk about some of the items that someone should consider when they're looking at customizing curricula. So as a recap, what we want to look at is the learning outcomes. We're going to share the key benefits of custom curriculum publishing. We're also then going to describe just key benefits of custom itself. How do you customize? What are some of those great benefits in that piece? And then we're going to also look at McGraw-Hill custom solutions versus our do-it-yourself tool of Create. So custom is everywhere. It's at restaurants. It's when you go to, many of you may remember the old Burger King philosophy of hold the pickle, hold the lettuce, special orders don't upset us, that came out. But you also have customization in coffees. You can go to any of the popular bistro coffee salons and get your coffee with half calf, full calf, latte, cream, full milk, all different flavorings. Customization is also in our digital products with our iPads, the different types of programs we use on the iPad, the iPhone, or Androids, or other tablets. By bringing in the different apps, individuals are customizing their programs. You also have it with how people are customizing their viewing experiences on TV by streaming with satellite, downloading from Netflix, or getting onto with a local cable network. Cars are a great piece to show how people customize. You always have the standards option package and then the premium selection pieces. And people are getting a lot into customizing homes. All of these customized options, from coffee to electronics and cars, show that people want to have their experiences, their tastes, and their preferences represented. Customers no longer want to have that off-the-shelf experience. And the textbook marketplace and school curriculum marketplace is no exception. Districts are finding, especially with the standardization through nationalized standards such as the NGSS or the Common Core, and the allowance that many states have for that additional 15%, that they really want to make a mark on how that curriculum is going to be set up, and they also really want to make sure that the curriculum is meeting the needs of their particular constituents, essentially the students in their classrooms. But when customers are looking at customizing, there are a lot of different things that they have to take into consideration. And so what I want to look at is some of the things that someone should qualify when looking at custom opportunities. So when you start to qualify, I think an important piece to understand is where content comes from. Right now, if I were a customer and I wanted to get school curriculum content, I could write it myself. I could use outside resources from open educational resources or other tools. I could adopt a published curriculum, or I could customize to meet my own needs. Each of these has pros and cons. The first option, writing, really gives customers the greatest opportunity, and they have the most control. Unfortunately, it's also the most costly from terms of cost of time and resources, because for a curriculum director to craft a curriculum organically in their district, to have teachers write it, or to hire somebody, it's going to be very expensive, and it's going to take key people out of the classroom. The second option is actually very appealing. There are a lot of great free resources out there, a lot of open educational resources. Unfortunately, not all of them are vetted. Many of them don't have somebody reviewing them for accuracy, and many of them are untested in a classroom. And that's always a precarious situation for an educator to go through, being that quote-unquote guinea pig. Open educational resources, to many sense, is almost like teaching from Wikipedia. There's a lot of information there, but you're not quite sure the sourcing. The third option is to go with a publisher's developed curriculum. Historically, that has been one of the strongest options that most districts have had. Publisher curriculums tend to be very well researched. They have key authorship, key professionals in different subject areas, key professionals in educational pedagogy, and they have a lot of very valuable resources to them. Many publisher programs have a lot of additional digital and print resources. Many of them come with already crafted assessment banks and assessment tools. However, for many customers, it is a one-size-fits-all philosophy, and it can seem very daunting if a customer wants to shift things around. The fourth option is what we're talking about today, customization. Customization allows customers the ability to create titles that they really want, to tailor programs more closely to the needs of their students, and to control the classroom material costs. What we like to think is that custom allows the market to create individual dynamic programs that are going to be effective and that are going to really hone in on the unique needs of a district's client base. So in a 2011 article in eSchool News, Jennifer Nastu talks about some of the benefits of customizing. First of all, she says customizing or custom curriculum publishing gives schools more flexibility as they are preparing students for college and career. And that really ties into that flexibility of that added 15% for those Common Core states or those districts who are adopting the NGSS standards or the C3 standards or other national curriculum who want to have a little bit more flexibility. For districts who are looking at differentiation, custom curriculums do allow for a teacher to really assign particular content for those students who may be approaching level, or if they have a lot of above level or gifted students, really providing engaging activities and content to keep the students learning moving forward. One of the benefits is that a custom really does address that one size doesn't fit all idea, because custom allows districts to pull together exactly the content that the educators want to teach and for them to review. And the third piece as a benefit, which I think is very important, is the development of custom content by a district really comes from the heart of the student-centered needs. districts understand what their students need better than anyone else. And to put the district in that position to craft and identify the unique learning needs of a particular population and how to draft tools to meet those needs and address all of those needs so that students can gain the confidence and succeed are critical. And that's why custom is a great option. So what I would ask for those, for people to think about is, as a teacher or a curriculum director, have you ever thought that you've outlined a curriculum that's different than a publisher sequence? Or that you didn't want to pay for content that you don't teach. You tend to jump around in the book or only teach a certain portion. Or that you may not really be satisfied with the off-the-shelf approach and really want to explore open educational resources, or you want to build your own program. If you've thought of all of these ideas, then I would take it a little further, because what if you could create your own science lab manual books, produce differentiated math workbooks, develop companion books for digital products, combine AP content with high school material, so really shifting the level of rigor in certain areas, design literature anthologies or build differentiated readers, create primary source products, really that are tools that are going to help students understand that nonfiction concept of quality historical documentation or how to utilize primary sources in your educational experience. Or what if you could provide flexibility with elective courses by blending different topics and creating a botany and microbiology elective course, or certain types of history and geography courses, or adding language into a history course or a cultural program. You can do all of this through customization. So what I want to do is shift over and talk a little bit more about two types of custom. And I'm going to use McGraw-Hill's 2 operational strategies to really cover that. The first is a concierge type. In a concierge publishing experience, the publisher or an entity is going to work with the district in the planning, the designing, and executing of their custom curriculum vision. Now that planning could involve individuals coming out or a series of webinars to help scope and craft how the standards are going to be addressed, to design a sequencing that is going to meet the needs across one grade or multiple grades, to look at how spiraling could be taken into effect if there's a need for some sort of scaffolding of content. The other piece from the design is really what's important, because a customized program, just like many custom features, when we look back at our analogy of coffee or car customizations, is a premium service and may have a little bit of a higher cost, but there are ways to keep those costs down, and that's all part of the design, because as a district really is customizing that program, they may realize that they don't need 37 print ancillaries. So they'll take those costs that they were going to spend on that and put it into one very effective tool. Or they may decide they want to put their resources into an online or digital product and really want to focus their financial resources there. From a design standpoint, there are different options. A district may feel that they want all of the pages, even if they're pulling from different titles, to be homogeneous and look similar. Or they may feel that it's not really necessary. And with the executing part, publishers have professional teams of editors and designers and project managers who understand the timelines needed to properly execute pages, properly to arrange the content, and the time needed to get a print product out or a digital product. When working with a concierge service, most publishers and most custom opportunities allow for the blending of different titles. And the nice thing about going through a concierge service is if there is third-party content that needs to be re-cleared or used, they'll take care of that. Also in a concierge, it could be the adding or the removing or the resequencing of content. In a concierge experience, often districts are provided the opportunity to write their own content and include it into a program. That writing of the content could be as simple as a lesson plan at the front, some sort of scope and sequence, or even district rules and policies. Or it could actually be different pedagogical questions, project-based learning activities, elements that are going to enhance the content and curriculum. Concierge services also include modifying the possible design elements, wanting to add a new feature or a new icon in there to really draw something to attention if it's important for a district. Could be changing the binding styles. Often a case-bound book is going to be much more expensive, and for a district it may mean that they don't need that cost and they don't need that case-bound service, and so taking product to a soft-bound book or a spiral, or even taking it to a digital solution or an e-book. The opposite, though, when you look at the concierge, is your do-it-yourself. With a do-it-yourself experience, all of the publishers, like all the major publishers, have created tools that are going to allow customers to build their own product. The nice thing about most of these do-it-yourself programs, and I'm going to speak about McGraw-Hill's proprietary software, Create, is they're web services. They allow very quick turnaround. They allow very easy assembly of content. Some benefits about our program with Create is that it really draws on all of our comprehensive content and allows customers to look at both higher ed, professional content, some of the programs developed internationally, and our domestic school product. But with any of the online do-it-yourself programs, customers have a lot of flexibility. As I mentioned, all of the mainstream publishers do have do-it-yourself programs, but I want to point out that with McGraw-Hill, with our Create platform, we really have taken concerted efforts to make sure that we are covering as many of the development opportunities that we see customers may explore when wanting to do a do-it-yourself customization. With that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch into a couple of tools that we've developed, and I'm going to talk you through some of the things to consider when customizing and give you some more information. The first I want to point out is the McGraw-Hill School Custom Solutions website. We've designed this site, yes, as a marketing piece for McGraw-Hill Custom Solutions, but it's also a great resource about the ideas of customization. Across the top here, what we've done is really made it an easy analytical process for a customer and a district to really see if customization is appropriate, because not every decision on content requires customization. As a customer, you may want a reading program and not see anything that you out on the open shelf that really appeals to you, but through talking with a rep or through a different publisher contact, could find out that they may have another core program that meets your needs. Maybe you were looking for something for in the core basal market, but you really needed something in intervention and hadn't been able to find it. So what we've tried to do is, for any concept of customization, is to allow customers the option to go through and really analyze. And with that analyzation, we have little videos here that are across the main page, but they're also on the overview. So you can look in and see what it means to add content. And a little video will play. The other piece that we've done here is a content map. In customization, what are the things to consider? What are some of the effects that you're going to have? Does the publisher that I want to work with go through and customize everything, or do they just customize the student edition? Do they take the extra effort to customize the teacher resources and the supplemental? Do they customize what's on the website? I'm very proud to say that McGraw-Hill Custom Solutions does. We look at a comprehensive customization package when we're looking at a concierge experience, but it's something that should be considered if looking at a custom option. And so what this content selection piece really does is helps walk through customers, walk through the process. An exciting feature of our website, too, is our gallery. And the gallery shows a lot of programs that we've already customized. And when they're clicked on, it brings up a cover of the book and testimonials from actual customers so that you can see, is it worth it? What was the net gain? What was the experiential differentiator? And why reinvent the wheel? A lot of times we're going to show you things that we've done for somebody else, and it may be a great base starting point. But I think overall, with the idea of custom, is this website and our approach is to help qualify. Should you go with a concierge experience if you're looking at a customization, or should you go with a do-it-yourself? From the do-it-yourself, it's very easy to get into McGraw-Hill Create. First, from the custom website, it launches into our marketing page. I always recommend people go through the marketing site because we have very easy step-by-step explanational videos that are going to provide a thorough understanding of what needs to be done in order to develop a product. So then to go into Create, launches another website, and this takes a customer into the McGraw-Hill Create School Custom Portal. I talk about the School Custom Portal because McGraw-Hill Create is an enterprise solution for McGraw-Hill. And there is content from all of our different business entities, and the content ranges from kindergarten all the way up to professional education. If you think of Create as a ball, and in that ball is all the content, what I would then is take that analogy a little further and think of that as a soccer ball. And each of those hexagons is a different doorway into the content. We want to make sure you go in the right door because there's thousands of files, thousands of resources, and everyone's time is valuable. In customizing, even more so because you want to get the right content as quickly as possible. And so we've set up a couple of tools to help narrow down. Within Create, along the one side of the main site are our browsing facets. The browsing facets will allow the customer to go look at the type of product that they're looking, if there's a copyright item that they're particularly looking or needing for, if it's English or Spanish language edition, the type of level, beginner, intermediate, or advanced. That's how high the content is continuing. So as I mentioned, right now, to register into Create is a very simple process, something that most people who have ever logged into or registered for an online tool are familiar with. As I mentioned, we've preloaded content from all the districts because we do take this very seriously, the access into Create, because we have pedagogical tools, we have answer keys and teacher material. We want to make sure that the students can't easily just log in and get content, or and we want to make teachers feel secure that if they're getting something from Create, that content is going to have been secured and not been jeopardized in any way. So we do make people register. It's just a very simple process, and we want people to identify the roles they're in as well as the state and the district. But I'm going to go in and log in as myself, and I'm going to show how an online tool works, particularly McGraw-Hill's Create. So once I've logged in, as I pointed out, I can look through content a number of ways. I can go here through the facets. I can also go and just key in a title, an ISBN across the top here, and do a search. I can also go through and browse different categories based on level and go through, try and identify content that way. Or a great piece about the Create system is go to one of the collections. We have populated for the school group over 21 collections, but there are also then a lot of higher ed collections that provide for those higher level courses, especially in high school, AP, and elective, opportunities for districts to blend for AP and elective programming. So I am going to pick any of the programs. One of them that I'm going to select is a supplemental math program, just as a demonstration on how it works. So I'm going to look for a particular course that I have been working with. This is Boosting Your Math Skills, which is an intervention course. Provides students with a lot of opportunity for to increase rigor or to go over content that they may have struggled with. And I'm going to go in and build my student edition. As I continue working on my student content, what the book does, once I select the content, it is bringing up the files so that I can go in and review. What I'm able to do here is I'm able to review the content by scrolling through it and seeing if I identify content that I'd like, or I can also just start picking content and build a book. Now, if I pick content and I start selecting items, it is going to ask me to name my content and name my product. As I name my product, one of the very powerful things about Create, and it ties in what I mentioned earlier, is we really want to customize an entire experience in the Concierge side, where it's not only the student edition, we also do that in Create. So we've loaded the student materials and then we've tagged them with the teacher materials so that as I go and build my student product, I have the option to also build my teacher product as well. So I can start building my teacher's edition. That happens in the back end. At the end of the project, I'm asked if I want to keep it or not. Create is all about providing control to the district or to the customer in building that. That control comes in several different areas, in selection of content, in sequencing of content, and as well as in price of content. The customer down here at the bottom of the screen is constantly made aware of what their individual book per student is going to cost. So if they're working on a budget, as they add content, they can make sure that they're fitting within their project budget. The nice thing, too, as I continue to add content, is I can choose different options. If this were a 4-color book, I could look to see if I wanted to change the product to 4-color. That would change the price, but I have that option. Or if I want to create an ebook only, I also have that option and that control. I can go back to find content, and maybe I want to add something from another collection. So I'm going to go back into my collection, and I'm going to pick another book because that first book I selected didn't quite have the approach I wanted for covering a particular topic. Or there's a higher level or a lower level discussion on a topic that I need for my students' needs. So I'm going to go back in and create a new, grab another book, and I'm going to add additional content as well from there. Again, the view screen pops up. I can view it there, or I can just add it into the program. And as I continue to add, the price continues to change. I can now go into the Arrange screen. several key features of the Arrange. One, I may need to change this because I don't like what the project is called, because the project title becomes my part of my header. So I'm just going to change it to Math Workbook, and then it's affected. In this piece, I can drag and drop the content, and I can easily rearrange how I want the content to appear. I can also add a divider. If I wanted to say this is addition as my section. So I can do all my basic addition concepts, and then I could add a second divider because I want to add in for subtraction. So I have that control, and I may want to put my number patterns first, my basic number facts first, and place value first. And I can be in full control of where content is going to be and how things are lining up. Another powerful feature is I can add content. So I can just go in, add a PDF that I have saved on my system, and can easily adapt what I am going to be adding to the curriculum. When I add that piece, I claim authorship, say how I want it to appear, say on this incident I'm going to add some school policies to the front, and then I'm going to claim here that I own the content. And then if I want to upload it, I can upload it, and then it will cycle through, and then again, it's a drag and drop of where I want it placed. The next step is further personalizing the content. Remember, I'm in control in Create, so I can choose the format of the book, be it black and white, color, or print. I can also choose the binding style. And as I select different binding styles, that may affect the price. As things are selected, I can also choose if I want it 3-hole drilled or perforated. Those are all going to be important pieces. Another piece that I mentioned was the control of the teacher's edition. If you recall, I selected that I wanted the teacher edition to be built while I was building the student edition. So now it's giving me the option. Do I want the teacher edition as a separate book, or do I want it combined? Maybe I'm building this product for my own research or for my own development of a course, because out of Create, there's no number of units that I have to purchase. I can purchase as long as there's a minimum of 1. And so it really allows this tool to help me build and conceptualize a course that I want to design. Or I don't have to include the teacher's edition. I then get to choose my cover. There are over 60 cover choices within Create that I can scroll through and find an appropriate one. And I can then see what it looks like as I title it. I can put in a secondary information of what I'm tying it with, the program. If I want, I can add in my name, my title. I can add a school name. And I can add a department. I'm in control of what's being customized. I could also then go and just change the cover to something different. On this side of the screen, I want to make sure that my email address is correct, because shortly after I finalize my product, I'm going to be given an option to view it via email. So I don't have to wait to see what my book is going to look like. And some powerful thing, if I'm in my district office and I'm working on a committee designing new curriculum, I can build the book and then I can share it with other team members or committee members so that we can collaboratively design or craft a program. So I'm going to get my email download. I also want to give a little information to the sales rep because the sales rep may have some additional information for me about additional programs that are available. And then I'm going to ask for my copy. At this point, the system is crafting the book. It is then pulling all those PDFs together. It is sequencing them, giving them a consistent pagination, building out a copyright page, a title page, and a table of contents. As that is cycling through, I also am going, it's going to put it into my projects folder. As I mentioned, each customer or each registrant has their own separate section in this site for them to store all the different projects that they build, to store all the different file uploads. So theoretically, if I'm teaching 4 different sections of the same class, I could come up with 4 different books of differentiated content that is going to meet the different needs. Say one of the classes in honors program. Let me create a unique honors program for that group of students. As I go into the My Projects panel, it will bring up all of the projects that I have and give me some additional options so that I can choose to either change the book, approve the book, or possibly share it. The positive piece, if I choose to approve it, then it goes into a finalization mode. I'm given my final PDF to scroll through, and once I'm satisfied and I hit the button, then it goes into our order processing system, and then our customer service department goes and contacts the purchasing department for the district or the school that for the person who ordered. So what we are seeing here is that Create provides a lot of those the same benefits of a concierge experience in the fact that the customer can choose the content, they can arrange the content, add in or remove, have different options, be it from a print solution or a digital solution, and then also build out a teacher's material. The downside that comes with all of the online do-it-yourself programs is that there is some level of restriction in how much content can be modified. Because the build-it-yourself tools deal with content in a PDF format that's predetermined, there is a base level which in the customization cannot go further. So depending on the content, McGraw-Hill may be at a chapter or it may be at a reading level. So as you can see on the screen here, the book is already then built, and I'm told that I can view that particular product to review it, or I can wait until I can go off and build another program. What's really great though is I already have an order number and I already have an ISBN. So if I decide that I want to go with this content, I can go right off and build and order the product. I want to jump back into the collections because I want to just cover some of the great content options that customers have with McGraw-Hill. We've loaded over 2,000 science labs, so customers can choose different labs from 6th grade through 12 with different rigor. They can also be blended with a lot of our AP labs and our higher ed content, especially for those advanced science courses. We have leveled readers and decodables to really help with that early English language arts, as well as grammar and spelling workbooks, handwriting workbooks, and phonics tools. For career placement, our Workforce Connects and our Workforce Connects Career Companions from our Career and College Readiness Program provide a lot of resources to help students understand what is expected of them in the real world. We have then different programs for math, as well as social studies, English, computers. So we really tried to provide a full breadth of all the different curriculum types, and not only core products, but intervention, supplemental, as well as assessment and analytical tools. What I want to do for closing right now is to just show a brief video about Create, and then I'm going to open us up for some questions. By all means, if you have any questions, remember to key them into the chat mode, and we'll go from there.
Build on what they already know. Now, with Create from McGraw-Hill Education, you can personalize their learning experience through customized curriculum and content. Create a cover that fits your teaching style. Make it yours. Create and publish your custom curriculum in 3 easy steps. Step 1. Find your content. Choose from thousands of McGraw-Hill Education textbooks, articles, and source books. Extract what you need. Step 2. Arrange the content to fit your needs. Rearrange chapters, add custom syllabi, insert teaching notes and reference documents, and even upload your own content. Step 3. Finalize and order your book, or ebook. It's fast, easy, and economical. Make the best uniquely yours. By customizing your curriculum, Create can help you meet your teaching objectives, drive student achievement, boost learning outcomes, and ensure college and career readiness. Create from McGraw-Hill Education. Make it yours.
And with that, I'm going to open it up for questions. I do have a couple of questions here to address. One of them that is, how long is content available inside of Create? When we build a book inside Create, and it is tied to that registrant's account, and that book is there for as long as that individual is registered. That book is assigned to an ISBN, and that ISBN is archived, particularly if it is printed, but we do hold on to the books because Create has that flexibility. You may look at one book, go in, scroll through it after you've built it, and it's not quite right, so you build it again or build it a different configuration, only to realize that you like the first one. So we don't get rid of it. You have the option to go back, and then we save that. Within each individual project account, a customer has the option to, let me pull it up. They actually have the option to go in and to archive. And so they can archive titles or keep titles in a different area. From a customization standpoint, a question also has come in is, how long do most customized or concierge experiences take? That really depends on the nature and of the program, but I would speculate that from across most custom programs across the major publishers, what you're really looking at is custom provides a speed-to-market solution. Here at McGraw-Hill, if it's a direct-to-customer experience where we work one-on-one in a concierge-style format, we tend to work within a 6-week period from conceptualization till we finalize the files. Now, we try always to improve printing, but we do work with third-party vendors, and so a safe guess for any printing period, particularly in the summer, is to go about 6 weeks of scheduled print time. So if you're looking from start to finish, a safe estimate for a customized experience would be about 12 weeks. Now, if you're doing multiple programs, adding a lot of spiraling, a lot of scaffolding with customized ancillaries as well, I would reach out to the publisher sales rep and get a good gauge, because that could easily affect the amount of time that it takes to get the customization processed. Another question that has come into me is on price. How are customizations priced? Well, just like any premium program, one should expect with a custom published curriculum that there is going to be a cost differential, because it is a unique program for a district or a individual school. The publisher tends to have to capture some higher costs from manufacturing and development. One would estimate that the standard is anywhere from 10 to 25% of a premium increase on a customization, but that could vary. And that standardization tends to be true across all of publishing customization, be it for education or for advertising or other areas. But again, work with your publisher sales rep, because they may have some unique strategies, or based on the conceptualization of the concept for your curriculum, there may be some different approaches that could be cost-saving measures that could help control the cost. But keep in mind, although a core product may be higher, many of the costs that are tied to with shipping and the cost tied into the shipping of a lot of the free with order that tends to come with a lot of programs may be eliminated, or there are other intrinsic costs, because as a teacher you're getting exactly the content you want in the sequence you want. You're going to save a lot of time and not be bumping around from program to program or from resource to resource. So
hi, Dan. It's Michelle. There's one more question that's frequently asked, and that's about copyright. Could you explain a little bit more about what the creator's responsibilities are regarding copyright of content that they want to use?
Okay. Well, there are a couple of issues around copyright. One, if it is third-party content, McGraw-Hill and the major or most custom publishing divisions cannot take ownership away from a third-party provider. So if you as a customer are wanting to utilize an image or a poem or something that you have secured rights on, that whoever owns that copyright of that product will always own the copyright. What we would look at is, how is the license transferred? Can it be an educational fair use license, or does a permission request need to be extended to that content holder to include their content in the product? For the copyright of the finished product, the standardization is that a custom product is generally copywritten in the year in which it is created, because it is a new product. Although it may contain copywritten material from various copyright years, this new assemblage of content is a new product, and that new product is copywritten in the current calendar year.
Thank you, Dan.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, with that, I'd like to thank you for attending our webinar today on creating customized solutions online. We will be ending with a follow-up email with a link to the recording. Also, as you exit the webinar today, you'll be given an opportunity to take a survey. We would ask that you please open the survey, and we would appreciate your feedback to help us improve and to plan future webinars. If we did not get to any of your questions today, or you have any follow-up questions, please email individually, those emails can be sent to webinars@mheducation.com. Again, I thank you for your time. I hope that we provided you an informative session, and we look forward to seeing you on future educational webinars through McGraw-Hill. Thank you.